Greetings, Joseph Kursky here to talk with you for a little bit about more power for your GIS analysis through joining features to ArcGIS Online. Sounds intriguing. Because the problems that GIS analysts work on, such as the biodiversity loss and water quality, these problems, issues, they don't stop at country borders. They don't stop at disciplinary borders. So the ability to connect the map or the attribute table that you are working on to another map or table in the same geodatabase or another geodatabase is incredibly powerful. One way of doing this is to join features. This has been a core function of and a chief argument for the use of GIS for decades now. But with the advent of ArcGIS Online, including its Join Features tool, along with the data layers in the Living Atlas of the World, that sounds like a beautiful thing, and it is. It's a beautiful thing. The ability that you have at your fingertips for joining features just became a lot more powerful. I first saw a demonstration of this at the ESRI user conference from my colleague Jennifer Bell, and I thought, this is a fantastic opportunity and capability for educators and people in other sectors of society. Why is this so incredible? Well, in the past, to join your data to another data set, you had to spend some time downloading and formatting that data set. Sometimes you had to add additional fields and populate them before that data set was usable in your GIS. But the bottom line is that you now have access to data sets in the cloud, for example, in the Living Atlas of the World. And similar to the capabilities included in the enrichment tool, these data sets do not have to be on your local device or in your own geodatabase to actually use them. Additionally, you now have the capability of making choropleth maps from tabular data using the Join Features option. Let's say that you have a CSV, comma-separated value table, containing data for a set of polygons, such as zip codes in a state, or US states, or world countries. If you add that data to ArcGIS Online and make a map out of it, your result will be a set of points, one for each record in your table. If your table represents world countries, your map will show 1 point for each country. This is a useful exercise if you are teaching about geocoding, for example, in a GIS course, but not so useful if your goal is to obtain a choropleth map on specific variables for your desired set of polygons. What do I mean by choropleth map? I mean a tone, a color, a shade for each country. In the past, your choices at this stage would be to use ESRI Maps for Office to turn your table into a set of polygons in ArcGIS Online, or to use ArcMap or ArcGIS Pro to join your table to a table associated with an existing shapefile or geodatabase. But now you can also use ArcGIS Online to create a choropleth map. How can you do this? You can do this via the Join Tables tool and by accessing the Living Atlas of the World. Let me explain. First, log into your account in ArcGIS Online. Then go to Map, Modify Map, add data, and then add your spreadsheet. Do you need a spreadsheet? Well, the World Bank has a wide variety of data sets by country in tabular form. You can go there for some if you need one. Indicate the field, such as country code, for your place-based table. And the result will be a set of points similar to this shown here, shown on the colored pencil base map, which I dearly love. That is all good. Nothing wrong with all of this. But now for the really exciting part. To make a choropleth map by country of the same data, what you need to do is perform analysis, join features. On step 1, choose the Living Atlas analysis layer. And for step 2, choose your table, which now resides in ArcGIS Online as a layer, and join on a common field. In this example, I had no common field. No problem. I first then had to add a field in Excel for the 2-digit ISO, International Standards Organization, country code and populate that field with the code. Why? Because the ISO 2-digit code did not exist in the World Bank table. This is a good example of knowing your data and what you need to sometimes do to enable joins to take place. So a little table editing is what I had to do there. While running the Join Features tool, select the Living Atlas, search for World Countries, and choose World Countries as shown here. Therefore, you are joining your, for example, agricultural land table to the World Countries generalized from the Living Atlas as shown here. Indicate the fields that will serve as your join fields, as I have done here. I will be joining on the 2-digit ISO code. When possible, I highly advise to join on a code rather than names of cities, countries, and so on, due to spelling differences, which will adversely affect your match rate. So if you join on a code, it's much better than joining on a text field. The result is a map joined to your original table. Excellent! Now, with the map at your fingertips, you can map any of your table attributes, such as, in my case, agricultural land by country for 2015, as you can see here. Now, let's dig a little deeper. Since we are working with agricultural land over time, we can create a custom ARCADE, A-R-C-A-D-E, expression that will allow us to visualize changes around the world. Now, ARCADE expressions are much like SQL expressions. I created a custom expression here, subtracting the 1980% agricultural land by country by the percent in 2015, as shown here. Since the data are already in percent, there was no need to multiply the result by 100. Again, knowing your data is key. I also want the pop-up. When I click on that country, that's the pop-up. I want the pop-up to display the change over time. And so I will add the same expression that I just described to the pop-up custom attribute display as shown here. This is so wonderful. The resulting map and pop-up are shown. What patterns do you notice? Why the big increase in Saudi Arabia, for example? You could zoom in, change the base map to imagery, and investigate the new center pivot irrigated fields in the middle of that country. Looks very similar to the central part of the United States, doesn't it? You could pan over to Brazil and examine fields reclaimed from wetlands and rainforest. Huge environmental issue there. You could examine urban sprawl in the USA and elsewhere as part of your investigation into why agricultural land has declined in many areas of the world. Folks, because I believe a data set like this is valuable to teach many core themes in environmental studies, science, botany, economics, and physical and cultural geography, I have shared the table here. For more information about the Living Atlas, explore it via this URL. For more information about the Join tool in ArcGIS Online, examine this document. Thanks and happy exploring!